Hello, mindful drinking community, and welcome back to another episode of the Mindful Drinking Movement podcast. Whoop! I'm your host, Jess Betancourt, clearing my throat, enjoying one of these nice alcohol-free lagers by Freedom. That's Freedom. I'm not doing a commercial for them. They don't sponsor me, but they could. They're really good. I don't know if you have them in the U.S. We only have them. I've seen them here in Spain. They're delicious. They're like hoppy. I like hops. Did you know hops are related to cannabis? So they have that like relaxing quality. I like a hoppy beer, but I don't like a hangover. So I'm having this Freedom while I'm recording this podcast, and my children are sent off into the wild with their dad. Hello. It's good to be connecting with you. I do feel like this is a two-way connection because I hear back from people about my podcast and how it's helped them, and that really means so much to me. So I love hearing from you. If you hate me, I don't really want to hear from you. It's okay. We can keep that to ourselves. I make this for you. So if this podcast helps you, I make this for you. If this podcast doesn't help you and it annoys you and you don't like it, I'm not making it for you. So bye. If this podcast helps you, I'm here to help you against all odds. So yeah, I'm back from the dead. If you heard my episode on my COVID rant, then that's what I'm talking about. But just kidding. I'm going to talk more about COVID today. No, I'm going to talk about the aftermath of COVID and what specifically happened to me and how this relates to you and how this relates to mindful drinking and how this relates to us. This is the theme of today. We need to be responsible for our own healing. And here's how I came to this thematic material that I'm going to share with you now. COVID, I was super sick as fuck. And then for a few weeks afterwards, I experienced crazy head pain and like face pain. So the virus had found its way to focus. It had like focal points in my teeth and my jaw, which is where I specifically, you carry tension specifically in your body in certain places. I have like TMJ, like I grit my teeth still, and I have a lot of tension in my jaw, which I correlate to my teenage stress, the stress of my teenage years. I'm still working through healing a lot of that, those layers of myself. But it's still symptomatic. It shows up how I grind my teeth. And I grit my teeth like this when I sleep. And after having COVID, it was like, the weak spots in your body is where you feel it the most after you've been sick. And so that my teeth felt like they were filled with fluid. Like my molars felt like they were bursting. And it was so extremely painful. And then as it kind of moved around my head, my skull, my cranium from there, it would like send shooting pain from my teeth up through my jawbones, like to the back of my eye, to various points in my head. And it would like locomote, like it was a moving pain wave. And this happened every day. It was really bad in the morning. And it would kind of dissipate at night. I had to take a ton of ibuprofen, which I don't really like to take, pharmaceutical type medications. It's just, And I finally, I'm the one who has to like break down to go to the doctor because I feel like I can manage these things or that they'll just go away. It's not that serious. But I was having kind of dark thoughts that maybe I was going to have a brain aneurysm. I was scared because it had been too long now. My husband's like, go get an x-ray. So I went to the dentist and they gave me an x-ray of my face, and they took me in, right? I filled out all the intake forms and I sat there and they took me in, they gave me an x-ray, and then they never even looked in my mouth. Yeah, she did. Sorry. She tapped one of my teeth with a metal pokey stick and said, does this hurt? And I said, no. And then they looked at the machine and they looked at my x-ray and they said, nothing is wrong with you. There's nothing wrong. We can't see anything. And I was like, you're not even looking at me. You're looking at a screen with an x-ray of my teeth. I'm so in such bad pain. How can you tell me that nothing's wrong, or that you can't see anything odd, or, and like, yes, you're a dentist, maybe I need to go to the doctor now. But it just, okay, 60 euros, please, for us to look at your x-ray and tell you that nothing's wrong with you. And then she recommended to me that I take a bunch of ibuprofen, which I had been doing, and it wasn't really solving anything. And it was just so frustrating. And this is not my first experience with having gone to a medical professional in pain, having them tell me that nothing's wrong with me, and they send you away with some painkillers or some antibiotics or something. Probably you can relate. If you live in the West, this has likely happened to you as well. And it was not my first rodeo, but it definitely just struck me with so much frustration and anger and sadness that, is this the best we can do? Is this the best we can offer people? Let me preface by saying that, yes, sometimes we need x-rays for sure. Yes, we need operations. We need the medical establishment for many, many things. But it is just so mind-blowing to me how ineffective we are collectively at healing people. I'm so bothered by it. I'm so pissed. I'm so angry. Not just for myself, for many people that I know, people who have chronic health conditions that they're like, they can't find anything wrong with me, or they tell me to just go do this, or that nothing works. And people are living with diseases and chronic pain, and we're not guided back to the source of our ability and our own power to create healing for our own bodies. It just mystifies me. I mean, that we do have that. It's labeled as alternative medicine. But really, it's like the original way of healing ourselves was to work with our spirit. It was to address our buried emotions. It was to commune with the earth. It was to change our diet. It is to eliminate the things that are making us sick, or at least reduce them, take them away for larger spans of time to find where there's an improvement. I remember I went to, when I was drinking, super drinking in my 20s, and vodka soda was my thing, and I drank Mandarin vodka with soda water, and I would have 5 or 6 of those when I would go out. And this was that year, and I had terrible stomach pain, and I went to the doctor, and he was like, "Oh, yeah, you're a college kid. Oh, you're stressed. Okay, well, this is stress." And he wanted to give me medication for stress at 24 years old. He didn't even say, "Do you party? How many cigarettes do you smoke? How much are you drinking? Do you know that alcohol wears away the lining of your stomach? It's no wonder you're feeling so bloated and sick." It's we are overlooking these really obvious things that are so right in front of us that we can be addressing ourselves. And so this is why I'm making this podcast, because I just want to stress the importance of taking care of ourselves. Lifestyle disease is one of the most preventable things that we can avoid, especially if you're an American. Certain places in Europe, pick on Americans because I'm an American, but I can not living in America, it's much easier to see objectively how bad it is in the U.S. and how we do not have we don't have the resources we need to be healthy. In most cases, we're spraying all of our food with chemicals, and it's a mess. That's another episode. But to bring it back to what can we do? Okay, we live in a fucked up place where you have a bunch of toxic food. What are the simple things we can do to reclaim our own power, to enforce our own healing processes? We have to set ourselves up for success the best that we can in our immediate environments, in our homes, just in our own bodies, our relationships. I mean, there's so much disease, discomfort and illness is caused by suppressed and unhealed trauma and emotion that stagnates in the body and causes our systems to go imbalanced. It creates blockages in our energy. It creates a decay of life inside of us. So it's just really, it's like it always comes back to us. We are the ones who are responsible for our own healing. And so instead of deflecting or distracting, for many of us, alcohol is such a big distractor of being able to sit with ourselves and to go inward and to ask and to find out what it really is that we really need. Because likely it's not a medication or some other type of invasive something by somebody else. It's really comes down to us connecting with ourselves more deeply and sitting through a dark night of the soul sometimes, or sitting in our own discomfort long enough that we can take some of that garbage out or allow it to leave us, or to commune more deeply with ourselves, to really activate our own healing. And nobody or no thing can do it for us. And I think that this is really part of, it's like such an important part of life's journey. I kind of feel like we spend the beginning of life getting traumatized and hurt and messed up and creating all these messes, and then we spend the second half of our life trying to find ways to return to wholeness and to heal. And because I'm 43, that's where I'm at. I guess this is a blanket statement, I suppose, but perhaps that's true for you too. Perhaps if you're listening to this podcast, if you're a follower of this show, you're waking up to feeling like maybe some of the things that you're doing aren't helping you the way that you thought that they were, and that you're ready to go deeper into yourself, and that you're ready and willing to create a loosening of the lifestyle habits that are preventing you from accessing your own ability to heal. It's important. It's important, you know. We're like, think about everybody you know that's no longer here, the people that have crossed over, and how fast it seems. Like life is fast. Life is fast, and we really want to feel the best we can as we move through it, so we're available to create change for other people, change for the planet, to bring light and energy and movement and connection and community. And it's like when we're all tired and we don't feel well, we don't feel like doing that. But it's so important. It's so important. And we don't know how much time we have, but probably when the day we die is coming, it's going to seem like it went too fast, even if you live till you're 99. And so what is one thing that you can do today to create deeper healing for yourself? And healing is messy, by the way. Healing is not, it's not a manicure. It is a bit messy. It feels like birth, if you've ever given birth. It doesn't feel just like birth, but birth is messy, right? And then this beautiful thing on the other side of it. Arguing with somebody is messy, and then making up with them creates this deeper connection. There's this beautiful thing on the other side of it. And then it's cyclical, and then it happens in other places. And healing is like that. It's like messy. And if it's messy and you're crying and like shedding things and thinking new things, then it's working for you. That's how you know your healing processes are working. When they're uncomfortable and you wade them out and you go through them and you don't try to turn them off, and you can just close your eyes if it's available and go inward and allow yourself to cry and allow things to fall away from you. That's what healing is. And then on the other side of it, you feel lighter, you feel better, you feel more deeply connected to yourself, soul, source, and spirit. And that's when true healing, that's when real healing is really available to you, to us all. Which kind of brings me to the secondary thought. A moment, a sip of my freedom. Yep, people come to me to work with me for their alcohol use disorder, whether or not they call it that. It's kind of collectively what it is. And what we really end up working on is unresolved trauma, buried, unprocessed emotions, inner child healing, releasing old identities from the past, healing, soul retrieval, going back and collecting a part of yourself that became frozen back in time, so to speak. This happens when we become traumatized or deeply shook or scared, and a part of the soul or a fragmentation of the psyche kind of breaks off, so to speak, becomes frozen back in time, because that part of oneself can't handle the magnitude of what is happening to the person, to the body. So we do healing work there. We do healing around our younger former selves and who we used to be, and accepting and embracing and loving that version of us, so that part of us doesn't live in shame and secrecy, because often that's the part of us that wants to go drink to distract and deflect and to tune out. It's really working with a symptom like addiction is really just an entry point to the deeper levels of healing that are available for you, for us, for all of us. It's just an entry point. That's like where you can see that something is off, or you can see that something is wrong. This is it's like the characteristic of the wound. And so that's really what my work is about. And I learn from every single person that I work with. I learn from every experience of my own in working through feeling very addicted to alcohol and tobacco. And it's available for you too. Not that you have to come work with me one-on-one, although you can. To honor yourself as you are, to be able to create some space and some sacred space and some privacy, even if you need it, to sift through the unresolved trauma and the buried emotions that are inside of you before they result into something, especially in conjunction with a maladaptive lifestyle habit like chronic drinking, before it becomes something that you can't turn back from, and then you need allopathic medicine, or then you need the medical field to intervene on your behalf. How can you connect with your own healing so deeply that it's like something that nobody can take away from you? You feel so confident in your ability to heal your body, your emotional body, to heal your mindset, to heal and connect more deeply with your spirituality. These are all things that you don't need anybody for. You don't need me. You don't need a person with a degree. You don't need a person with a license, a title, anything. You have such deep wisdom that is so accessible to you. You just need to be willing to sit with it. And it comes when we're uncomfortable. And the opportunity to sit with it comes when you feel like checking out or tuning out or doing something else. And I know it's not like perfect. It doesn't always work out like that. We can really only work to the degree of our own capacity, which is our nervous system's ability to handle and to manage the release of energy or the release of emotion as it comes and works its way out through our bodies. It can be incremental, it can build momentum, it can work upon itself, but it does need to start somewhere. So what is something that you can do today that just really has you feeling more deeply connected to your own innate wisdom and ability to heal yourself? What is it? Is it going outside and laying flat in the grass? Is it doing a shamanic journeying meditation? Oh my God, I've been doing those. I'll do a podcast episode. Oh my God, they're amazing. I connected with a power animal. It was a white horse. I sidetrack in case you didn't know. I'll do another episode on that as I'm getting super into shamanism as well. But what can you do? What can you do Can you make a healthier choice of food? Can you just take your shoes off and put them in a body of water, connect them with the earth? Can you go get some body work done? Body work is an amazing way to release emotion that's trapped in the body, acupuncture, Reiki, etc. What can you do to promote your own healing? All right. That's all from me today. Oh, I am also, my 6-week online course, What Do I Know? How to Change Your Story About You and Alcohol, is open for enrollment. You can access it right now. And then the live calls, there's going to be 3 live coaching calls with deep guided meditation and neurolinguistic programming exercises that we will do collectively. And those will begin mid-August. But if you'd like to dive in and start now, please use the code HEALTHY, and that's in all capital letters, to get 25% off. That's valid until the end of the month. And anybody who wants to come in and be a part of that program, when you do sign up before the end of the month, this month being July 2024, use the code HEALTHY for 25% off, and you'll also go into a raffle drawing to win a one-on-one hypnotherapy session with me where we can do either inner child work, the reasons of your obsession with alcohol, or it can be a person. Those sessions can also be used to create closure with a person that you may be obsessing or ruminating about, or someone who has hurt you. We can energetically close that and cut the cords and the attachments that you have to that person. There's really a lot there's like so many amazing ways that session can be used. And I normally charge a bit for that. Well, not a bit, it's like astronomical now. It's like $555 is what I normally charge. That's the value of it. And so it can be yours for free if you sign up to come be a part of What Do I Know before the end of the month. And remember to use your discount coupon. I love to hear from you, all of you. Send me an email or let's get in touch over on Instagram, The Mindful Drinking Movement. I hope you have a beautiful day. I hope you know how powerful you are. I hope you know that you have so much capability and that you're amazing. And I will be back next week or thereabouts. Ciao for now.